Tuolumne County. It is a beautiful place to live and raise children. As of July 2018, the population of Tuolumne County was 54,539. Around 7,000 people and families of that population report living in poverty. One of my favorite themes of the gospel is in Galatians 2:20, which, in a nutshell, says, "Not I, but Christ." To me, this means that it is not about you and it is not about me, but it is all about Jesus and the love of God towards us. I was walking up to my favorite spot to pray, and I prayed, "Lord, what would it take to bring more people to our church? And what does not I but Christ look like in a practical, everyday sense? How do I live the agape love of God every day?" Shortly after that, I, with many other church members, volunteered at a God's Closet event. God's Closet is run by Debbie Nord. It is a ministry that collects gently used children's clothing and distributes the clothing items to the community. The April 2019 God's Closet was a success. 150 families were served.
We're giving out free children's clothes for $1. What's your name?
My name is Jane, and I am having fun here at registration for God's Closet.
What's your name?
My name is Jean, and you've been a great help today.
Yes, you have.
I was just about to pack up my film gear when I saw this young woman with flaming red hair, and I felt a strong impression from the Holy Spirit to ask this woman for an interview. This is the moment when I met my future friend, Jessica.
Chance to kind of get ahead, because I think that there's a lot of families in our community that struggle with little things, you know, like we're able to get by and scrape by, but then when it comes to like extra things in school time, it's hard to do all that. And I think there's a lot of single parent families out there that need a little extra help just to get by, and there's not a lot of resources in the county, and it's nice to be able to come somewhere and get 3 bags of clothing and know that for the next few months my kids are going to be okay. They don't have to wear stuff that has holes in it or that's too small. And when you are able to do things like this, it makes them, you know, more confident and happy. And I think that a lot of communities, and ours is kind of getting away from the sense and understanding that if you make a contribution to the people around you and help them, it really does help your overall quality of life. It's not just about your name and your family. It makes your community stronger, and it makes my family stronger.
Amen, sister.
It's just, you know, I can't go out and buy 3 bags of clothes anytime soon, and I get to go home and show my kids all this stuff today. It's exciting.
That's awesome. So how many kids do you have?
I have 4 children.
Jessica is a single mother with 4 kids. A domestic violence situation had caused her and her children to flee their home in the middle of the night with only the clothes on their back. Because of this, Jessica and her children became homeless and had to live in their car.
Kind of unexpectedly, we just had the clothes on our back, so we kind of had to figure out, you know, from the ground up.
Were you homeless?
Yeah, we were homeless for about 3.5 months.
And you had 4 kids?
Yep.
And how did you survive? Where did you live?
We stayed in empty driveways in Twain Harte, because that's where I was from, and I knew that there were vacation rentals. The shelters here couldn't accommodate a family of my size at the time. For the first 10 days, the county helped us with the hotel room, as long as I was pursuing housing opportunities. But it's hard to find housing here.
Yeah, it is.
I knew different people here and there, and I would go to their house and bathe them at night and fill up like a thermos with hot water so I could do instant oatmeal in the morning for them, or try to find places I could do laundry here and there. It probably made us more understanding to how people get into that position without being so judgmental, because it really you can find yourself in a position where I never thought that those sort of things would happen to me or my kids.
Really? How did you feel as a mother with your kids homeless?
Like I failed.
You're not a failure.
I don't know. It wasn't good.
How could someone really helped you in that situation?
Reaching out like you guys do, and not feeling like you're being judged or looked down on.
But there's something you really need to know about Jessica, and that is she is a fighter. She worked her way into an apartment and off the streets. But when she found herself suddenly without a vehicle, life for Jessica became very tenuous. After meeting Jessica at God's Closet, she and I started meeting up at cafes to have lunch and Bible study. She would share with me the struggle of raising 4 kids as a single mother, and I would share with her my own struggles as a mother of 6. On one occasion, I asked her, "What would it take to radically change your life?" And she answered, "A car." You see, at this time, Jessica was having to get rides from friends and pay a taxi driver to take her to work. Not having a car kept her down economically as well as emotionally. After leaving the cafe that day, I was praying about this, and I said, "Lord, how can I buy her a car?" That was when the name Dr. Ron Neufeld popped into my head, and I contacted him through his daughter. Within a matter of days, Dr. Neufeld and Jessica met to talk about vehicle options. And a few days after that, Dr. Neufeld presented Jessica with a gently used car.
Yeah, this is yours. I know! Hey, that's pretty cool.
I'm sorry, I feel so ridiculous, but I'm so excited.
Not only did Jessica get a new car that day, but another church member, who wishes to remain anonymous, came forward to provide Jessica with 6 months of free car insurance, over $100 worth of free gas, and free groceries were delivered to Jessica that month. If anyone is questioning whether God's Closet or Single Moms Auto Ministries are important in this community, all you have to do is remember Jessica.
No more taxi cabs and scary taxi drivers.
The question I had asked earlier in the year was, "Lord, what would it take to bring more people to our church? What does not I, but Christ look like in a practical sense? And how do I live the agape love of God every day?" God's answer was clear. It is about radical generosity to others in our community, because His love has been radically generous when poured out on me. So where is Jessica now? Well, you might see her as a shopper at God's Closet this Sunday, August 11 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. To date, I would consider Jessica one of my closest friends. We Bible study together and our relationship is growing. Because of the car from Single Moms Auto, she felt confident enough in her transportation situation to apply for a managerial position at her place of work, and she was promoted to produce manager and received a significant pay raise. Jessica's life has dramatically changed, and it all started at God's Closet. She shared with me how cynical and negative she had become about life before all this happened and how happy she has been lately. She often says to me, "I don't know why God is doing all these amazing things for me."
I'm still like in disbelief.
And my reply to her is this: it's because Christ is pouring out His amazing grace and radical generosity on you. There's not a single one of us who can display radical generosity on our own. We have to pray that Christ will come and live His life in us. There is not a single one of us that is naturally generous. I know that I surely am not. But it is the power of Christ and the faith of Jesus that makes a person unselfishly and radically generous.